Hello, welcome back to Rustaholic. I'm Patrick and we're still working on my 1969 Plymouth Fury. We're just trying to finish up a little bit of maintenance and we're almost ready to get the car back on the ground. In the last episodes, we discovered that we had a leaking expansion plug. So, first things first, since we have it in the air, let's go ahead and fix that first. And then there's one more item that we have to fix on the other side, the rear wheels. I haven't shown you that yet, but the studs. I'm missing a couple studs over there, so we're gonna put some studs in there, make that a little bit safer, and then I think finally we can get this car on the ground. So let's get started. So you can see here, it's been draining itself, which is nice, but we got a little cleanup to do, and it is still dripping, so I'm expecting when I pop that plug, I'm gonna get some more fluid coming out. So see if I can get that bucket or something else under here to be able to catch it, but we'll see what we can do. All right, just wanted to do a quick check. This is my replacement plug. And it looks like it's the same size. It's gonna fit in there. So I think we're good. Oh. So that's happening. Trying to hit it with that very narrow little punch, just put a hole in it. It looks like these are steel. And maybe this did not actually even move. Maybe it moved a little right there. So I'm gonna try to hit it with this, I'll see if I could get this in there. I can't. Huh. All right, it's a little bit bigger than the one I have then. Wanted to see, I can't even get a hammer in there to hit it, so that's not good. Yeah, I can't get any leverage. Huh. It's moving, but barely. Oh, there we go. It's finally moving. Woo! All right. Finally came free. Let's see if I can pull that sucker out. Huh. I don't even know how I'm gonna get a vice grip on that. Ah, no you didn't. Into the gunk bucket. Ugh. All right, those are all done. I'm all done with those. No, thank you. Ugh. We win. It's out. All right, now I gotta dry this off, clean this up, and let's get this new one in. I've got my socket. It barely fits on to the new guy. And I'm going to be using this ultra red gasket maker high temp on it. I'm going to do a little bead around the side and take my extender. I'm going to put it in like that, and hopefully I'll be able to get it in there and pound it in as square as possible until it's flush. That's gonna have to be it. All right. Not leaking anymore. I think that's a success. I think that guy's in. I think we're good there. Calling it. We got the freeze plug fixed. Let's hope. I'm not gonna put any coolant or anything in that for at least 24 hours. It did start to fill up again just a little bit, but I don't know. It seems pretty jammed in there pretty good, so we'll just wait and then I'll fill that up and we'll see. But I think it's fixed. The last thing we need to do before we can actually put this car back on the ground is this, and let me just show you here. Is this. We got a snapped plug here, and I already pulled this one out because it looked like this. So that's junk. Can't even put a nut on that at all. It's like totally stripped. It's horrible. So what we're gonna do is try to put some new ones in. Try to put some new ones in like this that I got. And they should go in there like so. And I'm told if you use this tool right here, it goes like that. And then you use a nut and impact it in, it should pull that stud through. And we're gonna try that right now. All right, let's see. So close. It's close. Actually, I gotta say, it's further in than the other ones. So we're gonna consider that pretty good, I think. Yeah. Pretty good. It's as far out as the other one, so awesome. Now I have 5 plugs. Studs. They're studs. Oh, that is so much better. This cap off for a reason. Wow, took it all. Need more. This is disgusting. I don't see any lights on the floor. That's a bad sign. I got no power. Yikes. So I'm not sure what I did, but I wanted to show you this. When I put a meter on this, I get nothing. And when I try to put the box on it, look at that. It says no way. It gives me this little diamond right here. But I take it onto this my other battery right over here, no problem, it's ready to go. So this battery is so dead, the jumper box doesn't even want anything to do with it. Oy. Looks like I found another issue. I don't know if you can see here. That's not good. It looks like that's been getting hot. And in line with this is a fusible link in this connection, which honestly, I thought this connection went to my power top, and it still might, but I'm not sure. But what I'm seeing here also is I've got some melted area right there. It doesn't look right. So I think from my reading that I was looking at this, that this fusible link should be of a specific size. And obviously I split it at some point, not knowing that. And so maybe that created some resistance and it broke there, or it broke here. Not sure, but either way, I think this line needs to get replaced. So let's figure out how we can do that exactly. All right, I'm back and I got some stuff. Thanks to the interwebs and Advance. Let's see what we got. We got some wire. Got a new SAD cable. And I actually found a 14 gauge fusible link. we're going to try to put that in as well. And I think that's about it, except we're also going to try to change out this old grounding strap. But I already had some 10 gauge wire, so we'll get that fixed. And yeah, and then we have this. This is the old fusible link. And let me kind of show you what I think I'm going to do with this. All right, this might be hard to see here, but here is the old connector right here. And that used to connect to this guy here, which is connected to the fusible link. And from what I've learned from the fusible link, it's not only important to get the right gauge, but also the right length. And obviously this one cannot be saved because I had already connected it here, and that remelted or whatever. It's not going to work. I'm not even sure if it was working previously, but obviously we had some damage to those old wires. So I can't use this anymore, which means I have a problem about using this. So either I can pull this whole thing apart and I can try to repin that blade in there to my new wire, or I can spend like $40 on an actual one from eBay, or I can do something that some of you guys probably aren't gonna like. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna cut this out because this is just a regular wire with a 10 gauge, and I'm gonna replace this connection with this connection. And I know this looks weird, but you can't find a really good connection that has a single wire. And so this is a nice 10 gauge dual 2 wires. I'm just gonna cut this black one because I don't need it. And I'm just gonna use this and this side, and I got 2 of these. So I'll be able to wire this one in with one side of this, like so. And then with the other side, I'll be able to use it to clip it in to really extend. So I'll be able to make it all the way back to where I need to. And then finally, at the end, is the fusible link, which is a 14 gauge, which should be comparable to what I had. It seems to be of a natural length, and it has the crimp. And it's really important, I guess, for the fusible links that you actually crimp them, that you don't splice them or solder them or do anything else like that. So I am just going to use the crimp, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take this one, I'm going to connect it directly to the battery cable, and then I'll crimp it to my extension made by these guys. That should get me to where I want, and should be as close to stock as I can, but it's just not going to have the old original connectors. And I don't know, if you've been watching me long enough, I'm not, doesn't have to be stock for me, it just has to work. So I'm going to go ahead and make that switch and put in these extensions, and I think we'll be good to go. So let's do that. Okay, I've got the main part of the wire done, and you can probably see a little bit easier what I'm thinking. So at this end is where I'm going to connect it to that other wire back there. Then it's going to have its main connection here if we need to. And then we have this connection here that goes to the fusible link. And in here, I don't know if you noticed, I kind of did that step down method where you take the smaller blade and you put it in the larger cup or whatever. And so I can still make that connection there. It's basically the same as the butt connection that it had before. And if for some reason this gets fried, I should be able to just cut this open and pull this out and hopefully replace it with another one. So let's see what happens with this. I'm just going to quickly splice in the other side, and then we'll get this battery all hooked up, and we'll see where we're at. So good stuff. it's finally done. Here's the end result. So I did cap this one off. This is the other cable that's going to my fan switches, I believe. This one is the new fused link. And new sad cable. And new ground strap to the core support. Overall, pretty much everything touching the battery is brand new. So I think, again, we might actually be able to start the car. I don't know. It's a little bit late tonight, but I feel like we got to give it a shot. Oh, not good. I see brake lights. Well, at least we know why my battery died, because brake lights were engaged. So, all right, more electrical to fix. Put it on the list. So my tab idea didn't totally work. The plunger for the switch was all the way out, and that's why my brake lights were on. I did just manually push it back in, and it's kind of wedged there now. So the brake lights are off, but that tab idea wasn't complete. So I think we might have to a couple tack welds onto that thing to really get it to stay. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's too hot. I'm not doing it right now. I was ready to be done. So going to be done for today. We'll tackle this one here shortly. I think what we will do, though, go ahead and start the car, which is what I was trying to do previously. Make sure all our electrical here works. Hopefully the battery has enough juice to start it. See if we've got any leaks, because we did replace the gas tank. Well, that's not leaking yet, I know, but we did also replace the freeze plug, so let's make sure that's not leaking, and make sure we don't have any other new links before we put the car back on the ground. But that'd be a huge step if I could at least just get the car back on the ground, and we'll deal with this brake issue shortly. But let's see if she'll start. Oh, almost. Episode. I don't see any new leaks, so I think we're fine there, and seems to be running well. So I think we got everything dialed in. Did make some huge improvements, so pretty excited about that. Yeah, next up we got to check out this top, and I think that's the next, I mean really the last major thing before we can jump into the next car. So really excited to do that. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Hold up, just 1 second. You're not gonna believe this. I was doing some cleaning up, and of course, you know, I'm talking to the car. I'm like, come on, the top, really? You're not working? And I hit the button, and check this out. Okay, granted, it's not actually moving, but it's making sounds, which it wasn't making before. So that means that we got power all the way to the motor in the back of the top, which is huge, which means the switch works. And that means I don't have to take apart the dash, and I don't have to pull that radio out of there and all the crazy stuff I did to get it in there in the first place. So in the end, that just means we're winning. totally winning. But we're gonna get into that top in the next episode. And yeah, we're gonna get that thing up. I'm psyched. This is awesome.